watching the brat. ChesaTheBrat, yeah. Get a subscriber tab. ChesaTheBrat.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, girl, hurry up. I don't know why I gotta tell y'all this every single time. At this point, y'all should have it memorized. And if you're new here, you get a fatter ass, you get a bigger bank, you get that you was plotting on.
Yeah.
And all you gotta do is subscribe, baby. That's literally it. There's no catch, I swear. This video is highly requested. Like, I did a few polls on my Instagram asking you guys which story time y'all wanted, and this story time literally beat every single one of the other story times that I put. Y'all are gonna get all the story times. This is just, the polls really just be like what order I should do it in. You get what I'm saying? Y'all read the title, y'all are probably like, girl, ain't no way you got cheated on again. Ain't no way you found out through DoorDash, girl. Is that part clickbait? Like, no, baby. I wish it was
clickbait.
What? Clickbait? I wish it was clickbait for my sake. Think of a situation right now and comment it down below, and I bet you there will be a story time coming up about one of those things. Like, I promise you, you guys could probably guess the craziest situation, the most messy situation, and I bet you Chesa went through it. My life is literally a joke, but it's a joke for you guys to laugh at, so you're welcome. This is the time that I got cheated on, and I found out through the handy dandy DoorDash app, and it got real wicked. Like, it got real wicked. Y'all already be knowing what be going on, and I'm just gonna give y'all a little spoiler alert. It gets to that type of timing, okay? It do. This is gonna be one of those story times where you're like, how did you even let it get that far? Like, you had every reason in the book to cut this nigga off before he even ended up doing that. But it isn't a Chesa story time if red flags aren't ignored, and if I'm not a goofy bitch for it. Like, you know, that's literally so Chesa coded. Like, there's nothing demure,
mindful, and cutesy
about me, okay? Just Delulu. Nothing demure about me. Pure Delulu. So let's get to how this all started. This took place when I was around 17 years old-ish. I be trying my best to remember the timelines, y'all, but it don't make no difference. I was driving. I was working at this place called, I'm not going to tell y'all the name, matter of fact. I'm not going to give y'all the name because sometimes I be going there and I be taking my niece there sometimes. Like, I don't want y'all to catch me there and be like, so this is where...
No.
I worked at a trampoline park. If y'all know anything about me, when I was in high school, I definitely had my share of jobs. I definitely have my share of story times from jobs too. I have more job story times coming up anyways. But this was after I worked that first job at the laser tag place where I dealt with those other people that I already did a story time about. Before or after I worked at Five Below, I have Five Below story times coming too, y'all.
It got real messy at Five Below.
But anyways, when I wanted extra shoes and clothes, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mama not just the type of mama to be like, oh, I'm finna buy your Shein cart even though you just got new clothes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a real T, and I been that girl. You know what I'm saying? Even though I used to dress like completely basic, and I was really not that girl for real, but I thought I was. So whenever I wanted to buy shoes and clothes and extra like that, get my nails did and all of that, I had to work for that shit. So I was working at the trampoline park. I actually enjoyed the job. It wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be because, you know, I had experience working in like that type of environment, like at the laser tag place or whatever, the rock climbing and laser tag and arcade place. I thought it would be a similar vibe, but this job was a lot more work than I anticipated. Literally the entire place, minus like the front and like the sides, if there's like birthday party tables and stuff like that, but like the majority of the park is literally made of trampolines. And one of the things that I had to do after my shift is I would have to like vacuum all of the trampolines, like literally square by square. I would have to vacuum the entirety of the damn park by myself. I used to have to jump in the foam pit pools or whatever, take out the damaged foam and replace it with new foam. Like, they literally had me working like a slave. Like, I'm not playing. Also, I hosted birthday parties since I already had prior experience doing that. They put me right on that when I worked there, and working the register in the front, checking people in, stuff like that. And mind you, at this point, like when this story happened, this is probably my second or third month in working here. Also, when you were just monitoring the kids, or if you weren't like running dodgeball games, if you were just like, you know, chilling or whatever, you had to keep walking. Like, there was no point where you could just stand somewhere and watch the kids. You had to rotate around, which I get it because it's for like the safety, because if you're not watching, the kids could be like doing backflips and landing on their neck and all type of shit. and you don't want that liability on you, you had to be CPR certified. So basically my shift was all over the place because one of the hating ass that I worked with is she was like a supervisor. She wasn't my manager, but she was like under the manager but above me, if that makes sense. Like she was above my position, which was just like a regular crew member or whatever they wanted to call it, and then there were like supervisors, and then there were managers basically. And she was a supervisor, so she would put out the schedule. She would sometimes help the manager make the schedule. She would move shifts around and move people around the schedule, and people could hit her up and basically like ask if she could switch their shift. Like basically she did like that, right? So my schedule would be all over the place, quite literally. There was a lot of favoritism going on and stuff like that. But what I do remember from this time is I worked every single Saturday. I hosted at least one birthday party every single Saturday. My off day was supposed to be Sunday, but there were still times that I would have to come in on Sunday. Like I could pick up a shift, or if somebody called out, I would get called in, stuff like that, because there were only so many people that could do birthday parties and only so many people that could work the register. So just keep in mind that I worked every Saturday, and all the other days were kind of sporadic, and then sometimes Sundays they would have me come in, but I wasn't supposed to be working on Sunday. So Saturdays I started seeing this boy come in, and we're gonna name this boy
Trifling.
I don't know if I've used that name in a story time before. I probably have, but if I did, it's not the same Trifling. And I mean, obviously if I use Trifling for a girl, it's not the same Trifling, but if I used it for a dude, no correlation. It has nothing to do with that story. I'm just reusing the name because I really cannot think of a better name for that man but Trifling. I would see him like maybe every other Saturday from whatever first day he started coming, and he came in with his little sister every day. Mind you, I didn't know if that was his little sister at first. Low-key, he looked a little older than what he was, which I'm gonna tell y'all his age and all of that, but like when he was coming in with her, I was low-key thinking like that could be his daughter. Like I was looking at him like, damn, he cute or whatever, he fresh or whatever, like, you know, he had on clean fits, like he had that shit on. He put that shit on, I'm not gonna lie. And he was definitely my type, like physically. I didn't know him, and I really wasn't in the business for trying to flirt with niggas at my job. Like yes, I was boy crazy, and yes, I was
A thirsty ass.
but I really wasn't at that time like scouting for at my job. I really was just working, trying to get my money in and get the fuck on. He would come and I would check him in, and I would check his little sister in, and the way that I found out it was his little sister was because the first, like when he first checked in, I had to get his birthday. Like to check in at the trampoline park I worked at, they had to give their name, their birthday, and their phone number, and then check in whatever minor they were bringing or whatever, and then I would give them their wristband for however long they're jumping, and then I would give them their socks, because it was like the mental hospital socks. If you know, you know, and if you don't know,
Be glad that you don't know.
the socks with the little gritty circles at the bottoms, like the non-slip socks basically. So when he gave me his birthday, I did my little calculations. I know my math ain't too good, but I figured out that he was only 19. Mind you, I was 17 at the time, if I didn't already say that. And his little sister's birthday, when I put it in, I calculated her to be 8 or 9. She was like 9, I think. So I don't think that that was his daughter. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. He would compliment me, and he would say like, you're pretty, or you look pretty today, or whatever. And his little sister was really warming up to me at that register, y'all. Like,
Hi, like you're so pretty.
like, you know, I don't know if he told her to say that, but when you get complimented by little kids, and when you get complimented by the girls, like the boys that are the girls, that's how you know it's valid. That's how you know it's valid. Or when you get a compliment by another bad bitch, that's how you know you really fishy for real. Like, you really tea. Like, yeah. He just kept coming in, kept coming in, kept coming in. Saturday after Saturday, him and his little sister came like clockwork. One Saturday he comes in, he checks in with his sister, obviously. I was checking him in for the day, typing in his name or whatever, just to, you know, it's the procedure. Even though I knew who he was, I had to check him in anyways and give him his wristband, do the whole thing. So when I did that, while I was doing that, he goes,
When are you gonna use it?
now, I don't know what he's talking about. Like, I don't know if he's talking about the bathroom. Like, baby, when am I finna use what? The potty? Like, what are you asking me right now? So I kind of look at him and I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like,
I mean, I know you got my number in the system, and I know you look at it every time I get here, so I'm just wondering when you gonna use my number. You thought you ate that?
this boy trying to spit game at me right now? Like, what do you mean, when am I gonna use your number, Bookie? Like, what are you trying to ask me right now? Like, say it with your chest. I'm trying to keep it P. I'm trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, oh, I don't know, like, maybe I will, maybe I won't, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, you know, I'm not trying to apply too much pressure, because it's like, baby, you think that that's all you gotta do to, like, get me? Like, you think that's all you gotta do? That's all you gotta say to just reel me in?
Because it is.
He ends up, like, kind of, like, letting it go. Like, he doesn't press. Like, he can tell that I'm, like, flirting kind of back, like, I'm smiling, I'm cheesing in this nigga face, like, so he knows that I'm, like, not turning him down or anything, but he's just like,
well, you know, it's no pressure on it, because like I said, you have it in the system, so whenever you want to use it, just shoot me a text or whatever.
And then he goes and takes his sister to go jump. And y'all, I can't lie, the rest of my shift, I'm thinking about it. Like, I'm thinking about it for the rest of the night. I'm biting my nails, I'm like twirling my hair. Like, even after he left, I'm thinking like, damn, should I text him or should I not? But
because I'm the thirsty ass I am,
I went ahead and put the number in my notes on my phone, because I don't know, like, part of me was thinking like, how inappropriate would I be to text him while I'm at work? You know what I'm saying? To, like, first of all, there's a camera right above my ass at the register, so I'm like, I don't know if I should really, like, look at the screen and then text my, like, use my phone to text. As y'all can probably guess, because I know that you guys are not idiots, I ended up texting him after my shift, probably when I went home or something like that. Either that or like the next morning, I ended up texting him like, hey, this is Chesa from so-and-so. And he was like,
I just been waiting for you to text me. What took you so long?
like, y'all, he was spitting that game. Like, baby, back then it really wasn't too much pressure to have to apply for me to, like, catch feelings or, like, have a little crush or whatever, which y'all already knew that about me. But, like, he actually had what the children nowadays call riz. Like, he really knew how to spit, you know what I'm saying? So he's like,
you're so beautiful. Like, to be honest, there's times where my mama could be bringing my sister and I'm like, nah, I'll bring her just so I can see Shorty, because I know you always there on Saturday. Like, there's days where my little sister be wanting to go Sunday and I'm like, nah, we going Saturday. Like, you know, I just had my eye on you since I've been up there. I just didn't want to bother you while you was working. I didn't know if you had a boyfriend.
You know what I'm saying? He's saying all the right things, and I'm like, oh, like, I appreciate it, I thought you was cute too, but you know, I just be trying to do my job for real. Like, I'm not really stunting you like that, I'm not stunting you too bad, but, like, you know, you cute or whatever. So I decided to text you. Probably that next Saturday after we started texting, he came back with his sister. This time he's starting to apply pressure. Literally, my shift on Saturdays was, like, I think 3 to, like, 11 or something like that. Like, I would work afternoon to close, and he would come with his little sister and he would buy food, because we had, like, pizzas and like, food. We had, like, a concession type of area there or whatever. But he would, like, sometimes he would have her, like, playing, and he would leave and go grab food, and he would bring it for her, and he would bring me something too, and I would eat it on my break, and he would stay there until close with me. And, like, he would come to the register and, like, you know, whisper little sweet nothings or whatever, you know. Like, he just was applying pressure and making me feel really good even when I was working. And even though I had a lot to do while I was working there, it was pretty laid back. Like, I could still, you know, chop it up with him while I was on the clock and stuff like that, because it didn't really interfere with anything. Me and him just got real cozy, real kosher, real cool. And one thing before another, you know, before you knew it, he ended up being my man. I don't remember if he, like, officially asked me to be his girlfriend or not, but I know that we ended up, like, being together and, like, only messing with each other or whatever. Which, I don't know, that used to be my mistake. Like, once I made it official with a nigga, that's when they just decide to dog me out and turn me every which way but loose. Kind of like one of the story times that I did before about the boy that I was talking to that ended up wanting to bang my friend because I wasn't giving the cookie up and she was, even though she was supposed to be my friend. Anywho, I at this time was not giving the cookie up. Still, I don't know if this is before or after that situation, but I was not ready to, you know, go all the way. I wasn't ready to, like, do the whole 9, do my big one. I was really just into, you know, doing little things or whatever, but I wasn't ready for the big shebang, if y'all get what I'm saying. This is still YouTube, so I still gotta talk a certain way. So when I told him that, he was real understanding at first of it, and he was like, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't care, I'm not really worried about that. Like, he's like, that's cool, we can do other things or whatever, and if you ready, just let me know. Like, you know, the classic nigga shit. This isn't the first time I've propped this camera up and said that a young man told me this information, and usually that information do not be credible for them young men after a while, you know, their true colors show. But this time I didn't think it would be like one of those situations. I thought that he was really a gentleman, like, you know what I'm saying? I met him while he's bringing his little sister to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just thinking about it, like, using my woman brain. Ooh, using my woman brain, which, you know, we're definitely smarter than men, no shade, but it's like we tend to give men that we like the benefit of the doubt sometimes, or we tend to like try to see the good in them or whatever. So the way that I'm seeing it is like this 19-year-old dude is bringing his little 9-year-old sister to jump at a trampoline park every weekend when he really could be running the streets. So I'm like, you know, how much of a dog ass nigga could he really be? It just gave him a good look, and maybe that was his master plan, I don't really know. But once he told me like he was okay with my boundaries, I didn't really think that them boundaries would be crossed.
Amen.
A few weeks later, Trifling starts getting real touchy with me. He's just getting real touchy. We in the car together, you know, he's trying to, you know what I'm saying, cop a feel or whatever. And I started to get uncomfortable with it because it felt like it was gradually getting more and more past the boundary that I already set with him. Like, y'all know, like, this is not unfamiliar territory to me. Like, I've had my boundaries crossed before. So it was really starting to make me uncomfortable to the point where I had to bring it to his attention. Like, I'm like, hey, like, I really am not into how you be touching me sometimes, or like I'm not really into the speed, like basically the pace at which you're going with all that stuff. Like, I'm not comfortable with it. And he was like, this is the first time he used this word with me and not the last, but he said something like,
damn, like, you always being stingy with it. Like, why are you being so stingy?
Stingy. The next red flag is he started having these disappearing acts. Like, there will be times where this man would literally tell me to get a ride to work so that he could pick me up from work and we could go do things together. Like, I don't know where I get these men that know that I have a car and they still want me to like be without my car so that they can drive me in theirs. Like, I get the whole, like, they want me to be a passenger princess, they want me to, you know what I'm saying, ride in their car so they can feel like a man or whatever. I get it. So there were times where I told my mama to drop me off at work on like Saturday or whatever. Obviously not after school shifts. I would just go straight from school to my job sometimes, but on the weekend shifts that I had, like, sometimes I would have my mom or I would have my brother drop me off at work, and he would come, he was supposed to come pick me up from work, and then we were supposed to go see a movie or go chill at his house or woo doo woo. And sometimes he would, and then sometimes he wouldn't. And this started to become a problem because he would quite literally have me there waiting, and like where I could have hit my mama up and been like, hey, can you come get me, which most of the time wouldn't even be possible because my mama would be at work by then, or my mama would be doing something, like, you know what I'm saying, just putting me in position to be asked out waiting outside of my job as if I don't have a vehicle at my house. Like, so, but like whenever that would happen and I would get mad at him and I'll be like, nigga, I'm just gonna start driving myself, he would get mad at me and be like, you're tripping, you're being petty, like, it's not gonna happen again. And then it would happen again. He would make these lame excuses like, oh, I had something last minute come up, like I have a lot going on, I gotta handle something. But he would be real vague about it. And whenever I would be like, nigga, you can't just leave me hanging and then not really tell me what happened, or like not really give me enough information, and he would be like, stop tripping, like, you asking too many questions, like I wouldn't just leave you hanging for no reason. So he had like a mixture of being a dickhead about it and being an asshole about it, and like on the other side of that, he would gaslight me. But his gaslighting skills, y'all, I can't even replicate that on camera. Like, he was just too tea with the gaslighting. Like, he would be on some like, you really think that I would just leave you outside your job for no reason if it wasn't like something like an emergency? Like, you really think I would do that to you? Like, what kind of nigga do you play me out to be? And he would gaslight me like that to the point where I'm like looking at myself like, damn, he wouldn't do that. Like, why am I even tripping? You get what I'm saying? Like, that gaslighting game really be demonic.
Nothing demure about it, just straight demonic.
The next red flag is he started making unexpected like visits at my job. I never seen him on any other day that I was working. I never seen him on no random, I'm not trying to, who am I to tell this man when he can go to a public place? I was never looking at it from like, oh no, how dare you pull up on another day than the day that I'm gonna be there. But there would be days where he would tell me what he's doing for the day and not include going to the trampoline park, and then he would be at the trampoline park when I picked up a shift or something like that, and he would just be there. And there were times where he would catch me there, and then he would come and he would be like, oh, like, I just wanted to come or whatever and see what you were up to or whatever. And then there were some days where he would already be there, and then I would come in and he wouldn't even notice, like, he wouldn't see me. And he wouldn't say anything to me, and he wouldn't tell me that he was there either. So it was like I couldn't tell if he was there to try to keep tabs on me, to try to see if I was at work or to see what I was doing. He was always like having an attitude when I told him I was picking up shifts, to the point where I stopped telling him when I was picking up a shift. Like I would just tell him like that I'm busy or whatever. I wouldn't really tell him that I'm at work, and then I would see him pop up. Some of y'all probably gonna be like, well, you shouldn't have lied to him about where you were, you shouldn't have like not told him. But it's like he was doing that first. While I did tell him, he would just pop up and he wouldn't say nothing to me, or he would just come, or he would be there while telling me that he's somewhere else, and then I would see him there, and then I would come and he wouldn't even know that I'm there, and then he would never tell me he was there. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it just started giving me like a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't really know what this man had going on. I didn't know if he was trying to, like I said, keep tabs on me, see what I was doing, like on some being controlling type of, or if he was just trying to go there on days that he thought I wouldn't be working to try to like talk to girls, or like just be shady and avoid me. Like, I don't know. And I couldn't tell y'all because on the days that he didn't know that I was there, I would try to see if he's talking to girls, but I also didn't want him to notice me there. So like I wouldn't really be able to walk around on that side where he would be at without him noticing me. So I would kind of just stay back and like try to peep him from afar, and I really wouldn't be able to notice for real. And then and in the system it would say how long that, like when he checked in or whatever, and I would know like when he's gonna get done jumping. So whenever he was there without telling me and he didn't peep me, my ass would walk to the bathroom or walk to the other side of the store whenever it was time for him to like turn in his, or throw away his wristband and leave or whatever, when his jumping time was over. Like it was just starting to get real weird. Like it was like toxic without being knowingly toxic. You get what I'm saying? Like we didn't acknowledge that it was toxic. We wasn't fighting or nothing like that. There was one time that I brought this to his attention, and I was like, why do you be coming up to my job like when I'm not scheduled or whatever? And y'all, this nigga started like, he wasn't yelling, but he started like tripping, like,
what the f? Like now I'm not allowed to go to the trampoline park just because you're not working? Like before we was even with each other, I was going to the trampoline park. Like you tripping? Like you not about to start controlling where I go and what I'm doing, and like you not my mama
and stuff like that. And it was like he was really saying it to the point where I was like, damn, I'm really on his meat. Like I'm really on his Johnson. I need to get off of it. Like I am tripping. And like some of y'all again might think like, damn, you really were tripping. He can come whenever he wants. But it wasn't about him being there when I wasn't working, because it wouldn't be like he would be like, oh, I'm going up to the trampoline park today on a day that I'm not working. He would tell me, oh, I'm just hanging out with my friends, and then he would go to the trampoline park, and I would be there, and I would be like, what the f are you doing here? Why are you not communicating with me when you be wanting me to communicate with you when I go places? Like when I went to the mall, when I went out with my homegirls, he wanted me to tell him where I was going. So like, you know, return the favor, reciprocate the same shit that you be wanting me to do. So I kind of let it go, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to look like that young, like tripping ass girl that he's trying to, like he's making me feel like. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna vibe. I'm just gonna vibe out and leave it alone.
Twin, just vibe. Like your ass is not just vibing like at all.
Like I said, I was 17, and my mom did give me a lot of freedom because my grades were T, and she also knew, like, me and my mom have the kind of relationship where when I do something with a boy, I'm the type to go tell my mom about it. You get what I'm saying? Like we have that boundary of like, you know, I'm your mother, not your little friend, but at the same time, when everything else is lined up, when you do everything you're supposed to do on that daughter level, you know, you can talk to me about things that you might talk about with your friends or whatever that some people might not be comfortable talking about with their mother. That's just the type of relationship we have always had. Sometimes I be scarring my mother with, you know, too many details that she don't ask for, but I feel comfortable with her, and I always wanted to replicate that whenever I have a child. I want to have my child feel so honest and comfortable with them to the point where they can tell me things that make me cringe, that I probably didn't want to hear, that make my ears bleed, but it's like you had the comfortability and like the security to tell me, even though I'm your mom. You know what I'm saying? So like that's something I admire about my mom, and that's something I want to do when I have my daughter or my son or whatever. She definitely let me go over his house or whatever, but she didn't let me spend the night. I would leave his crib around probably like 3-ish in the morning. He had his own crib, and his mother and his sister lived in a city like probably like 30-45 minutes away from his crib, because I remember meeting his mom, and like not on purpose, like I didn't go over there to meet her. I went over there with him on some, like I was already chilling with him and riding with him, and we had to stop at his mama's house, and I met his mama. So I already knew his mama didn't live in the same city as him, and he lived in the same city as me. So keep that all in mind, that I was chilling at his house but I was still planning on going home that night. So we're just chilling, and I end up scrolling on Instagram like while I'm with him or whatever. He's on his phone, I'm on my phone, and his little picture or whatever, I don't know if it was a recent picture or what, but it popped up on my timeline, and I ended up seeing a girl in his comments like have like a heart emoji, like a fire emoji, and like a lock. I don't remember like the first two emojis. I remember one was a heart, and I know one was a lock because it was giving like relationship. What you mean lock? So I was like, who is this? And then he was like, oh, that's just my homegirl, like she go to my college or whatever, it's nothing deep, like she just real close with me, like we real tight, or whatever, like she's nobody to worry about. And then I clicked on her page, went to her pictures, and she posted hella provocative photos. Like, I'm not judging shorty, you know what I'm saying, sometimes I get a little, you know, with my pictures too, but her pictures were like hella provocative, almost like what you would see on Twitter to advertise another app. He was in the likes of damn near all of her photos. So I was just like she's just a friend to you, like you really like don't have nothing going on with her, like are you sure? And he's just like, yeah, like I just said that, like that's just my homegirl. Y'all take a shot every time I say like. And he's like, I don't got nothing going on with her, you just need to like believe me, basically. He's just like, respect what I'm telling you and don't ask me again, basically. A few days later, I ended up seeing him post on his story from school. He was supposed to be at school and I was at school, and he was supposed to have like daytime classes or whatever, and he ends up posting on his story and tags a girl in his photo, like a photo, like he's taking a photo with a girl, and posted on his story. Mind you, it's the same that I saw the other day all up in his comments that he was liking the pictures of, the provocative picture girly. So I slide up on it and I'm like, what the, y'all looking too close for comfort, y'all looking a little cozy to me, like what you got going on? And he's like, here you go again, I just told you that's my homegirl from school, I'm at school right now, like damn, I can't even post up with my homegirl now, like you really acting insecure and you acting childish. And y'all, that childish word really did it for me, because if y'all know anything, one thing about me is I do not like nobody to try and little girl me, whether you're a girl, whether you're a boy, whether you 18 years old, whether you 22 years old, whether you my age or you a granny. I don't give a fuck. Do not little girl me, because I'm a grown ass motherfucking woman. I was really starting to get frustrated with the fact that he didn't reciprocate the same respect that I would give him. The next big situation that I remember is, this was probably maybe a few days after I started seeing him post up with that girl, and like after I saw him being friendly and like that. There was one day that I was riding with him in the car. He had picked me up on like a Saturday that I didn't work. No, it couldn't have been Saturday because I worked every Saturday. It was like a Sunday or something. He picked me up during the day. We went to the mall. We were supposed to go to the mall and then I think go to the movies or something. I don't remember specifically, but it was like some date type of shit. Like it could have been the movies, the skating rink, it could have been going to eat. It was something like that though. And then he was gonna take me home or whatever. So we end up going to the mall. We, you know, nothing happens at the mall. We window shopping or whatever. We don't buy shit. And then we get to the like car or whatever to like before we go to wherever we're supposed to be going next, right? So he ends up kissing me or whatever. We kissed in the car a little bit or whatever, and then it seems like he's trying to escalate again. So I kind of stop him and I'm like, you know, like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? And y'all, this man started teeing up. He's like, bro, what the fuck? Like, how long you wanna have a nigga waiting? Like, you being so stingy with this shit. Like, him saying that stingy word again and like me just feeling like my boundaries were being violated, I got mad. So I was like, nigga, fuck you, basically. And I got my ass out of his car on some like, you know, like, I'm mad at you and I have a valid reason to be mad at you. So I'm thinking that since I got out of your car upset, you're going to get out of your car and come make it right with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't start walking up the street or nothing. I just got out of his car like upset, basically. And before he gets out the car, comes and gives me a hug, apologizes, what does he do? He locks his car door and rolls the window down, and he's like,
since you want to be stingy with that, I'm gonna be stingy with my gas.
And he's like,
you can find your way home.
mind y'all, we were probably at Cumberland, Lenox Mall, somewhere that was nowhere near where I lived at the time. So I was like, how am I supposed to find a way home all the way out here? And you know damn well, like, my mama not finna drive all the way out here and come and get me right now. Like, what do you mean? And he's like,
well, big money, you got a job, right? You don't miss a Saturday, and you picking up all these shifts and shit. You picking up all these shifts and shit. Why don't you call yourself an Uber, money? Why don't you call yourself an Uber, big money?
Like, he's like being childish, talking about I got money from my job, so take myself an Uber. And I'm like, nigga, I'm not about to take no Uber. And he's like, well, I don't know what you finna do, but you not finna ride with me. And he pulls off and he leaves. intentions on cutting him off after this situation because I felt so just violated and disrespected. I felt like, damn, like this nigga really left me out here stranded. Because imagine I didn't have money, right? Imagine I spent my whole check or something. Imagine, you know what I'm saying? And like, we are in Atlanta. Like, something could happen to me. Somebody could pick my ass up and take me. Like, what do you mean? So I ended up taking an Uber, and in the Uber, I'm like planning on breaking up with his ass. So I'm sending him like this long ass paragraph, and I'm like, you disrespectful ass nigga, like I don't with you, like that's so disrespectful, you really crossed the line, like I cannot with you. Maybe like an hour later, after I'm already home, he ends up calling me, y'all, and he's like, baby girl, I'm sorry, like I've been having like a long day or whatever before I picked you up, and yesterday wasn't the best day and I didn't want to bother you with it, but I just really been in a bad mood, and I took it out on you. And he's like, look outside. And I go outside, y'all, and he got me some like snacks or whatever, and like some card. It must have been from like Walgreens or something, or CVS or something, and it was like a little apology card and some little snacks or whatever. And I fell for the okie doke, y'all. I was like, you know what, like I forgive you, but that can't never happen again, because I really feel disrespected and like you really crossed the boundary. And he was like, nah, I get it, ma, like I'm not gonna do you like that again, like I love you. And you know, just trying to sweep under the rug basically what happened with gifts. And I fell for it like a dummy bitch. Pay attention to this next part, because this is like one of the most crucial parts of the story. So probably the very next day, I end up chilling at his house again, or maybe, yeah, it was like a Monday night or whatever. I was chilling at his house. I was supposed to be going home, but I was just chilling at his house or whatever, and he ended up asking me if I wanted to go out to eat, like if I wanted to go eat dinner or something somewhere, like somewhere to sit and eat. And I was like, to be honest, y'all, I was not with him like that. Like I was like, I forgave him and I wanted to be with him still, but I was still feeling some type of way about the situation, as I should, and I was still feeling hurt by it. And like I low-key just didn't want to be out with him nowhere, and didn't want to like get ready. Like it wasn't feeling like let's go on a date, you know what I'm saying? Like I was still upset with him. He was like in the doghouse type of thing. So I was like, and I low-key just didn't want to ride with him anywhere after him leaving me stranded in the goddamn car. I did not want to ride with him nowhere, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm safe here, baby. I don't want to go nowhere with you. So I was like, nah, I really don't feel like going out. I didn't tell him that that was the reason. I didn't really want to argue or nothing like that, but I was just like, nah, I don't really feel like going out to eat. Like, can you just order something in? And he was like, okay, cool. And he hands me his phone. And he's like, this is his phone. He hands me his phone. He's like, oh, you can just order, like pick what you want or whatever, and then hand me the phone and I'll order something from wherever you pick. When I had his phone in my hand, y'all, I kid y'all not, I don't know if it was a placebo effect or something, but my hands felt hot, like I had like an explosive device in my hand, literally. And I probably did, but the way that he was like positioned in his room, like he could see his phone from where he was basically. So I didn't want to take that as an opportunity to go through his phone, to like go snooping on his phone, because he already called me insecure and said that I was tripping. He already was a gaslighting ass nigga. He definitely was not finna be cool with me going through his phone in his face when he's trying to buy me some food. So I did not take the opportunity to swipe off of DoorDash or nothing like that. But baby, I didn't have to, because this is how you know the universe don't play about Chesa. Like the universe does not play about me. So when I'm looking on DoorDash, you know how when you go on DoorDash, like all of the stores or whatever are routed to your address, like all the stores near you, right? So the only time that he's ever DoorDashed like with me or whatever was to my address, when like we would kick it at my house from time to time, but we usually was at his or whatever, since like it was just him. But there were a few times that he was at my house with me and he would DoorDash us food from his account to my address. There was a time where he sent me, you know, that stuff to like apologize to my address, and then obviously we would order takeout all the time on his phone at his house. So when I'm on there and I'm looking at the stores, I'm not recognizing the stores. Like I'm like, what the fuck? There is not a JJ's Chicken and Fish right by my house. Like what is going on here? And there's also not a JJ's Chicken and Fish on DoorDash by your house either. So what the fuck is going on? So I'm noticing these stores that I never recognized before, and I'm just kind of like, damn, all these new ass stores are put on here. Like this is new. So I picked one. I don't remember what it was, but for the sake of the video, let's just say I picked JJ's, right? I click on JJ's, and in red writing on the top, it said like a little notification popped up, and it was like, it seems like you're out of range of your address. Are you sure you would like, are you sure this is the right address? Do you want to double check or whatever? So I look up at the address that is on, and it's a completely random address that I don't recognize, right? So I quickly go to like the order history or whatever, and I'm looking at his order history, and he only has orders set for his house, my house, and then there's like 4 orders for the same address that it was just routed to. So I'm like, what the heck? Like, whose address is this? Like, obviously it didn't have a name. It was his name and all of that. I didn't know anything about this address, so I'm just confused. But I'm noticing in the order history it would be 2 meals, or it would be 1 meal, and then there was also one handy dandy little recent order that was like pads, tampons, snacks, a heating pad, Midol, shit like that, like a period package or whatever. Mind you, he ain't never ordered me no period package. He only ordered me an apology package. So I'm looking at this like, who the could this be for? Because again, I'm trying to think real quick, like, who the fuck could this be for? Like, I don't want to overreact. It could be for his mama. No, because this address is set for a city where his mama do not stay in. I know where his mama stay. I've been there before. This is not the address for his mama house, and his little sister damn sure would not need any of these things. I mean, it's a rarity that she would need these things, you know, already. So I'm like, who the address is this? But y'all, I had a little flashback. My little spidey sense, my little intuition was like, girl, this nigga left you stranded in a Lennox parking lot when y'all got into it about something that wasn't even valid for him to do that for. So I'm not about to confront him with nothing right now and him leave me stranded. Like, yeah, we live in the same city, but like, y'all, he was probably 20 minutes away from my house, and I was not trying to pay for no Uber late at night, nothing like that. I was hungry too, and I just kind of wanted to do my own digging and my own investigating, because I am not all the way all right in the head, and I am not completely sane. So y'all are probably guessing what I did. I memorized that address for a second. Like, I said it in my head. I have photographic memory. Like, y'all, I still remember the address to this day, but you know what I'm saying, I ain't in the business for that, so I ain't even gonna say it on here. I don't know if she still lives there or what. Maybe I'll go pay her a visit and see what's up, but
I'm playing, y'all. I'm not worried about that shit. But anyway, so
I switch over the address back to his. I pick what I want to eat. I hand him the phone like nothing ever happened, and I play it cool for the rest of the night, y'all. Like, it took everything in me to do that, because I told y'all before, I don't have no poker face. It's really hard for me to kick it like I'm cool when I'm not. But the thing was, I already slightly had an attitude with him already because of the situation that just happened. He already knew I was still kind of like feeling some type of way about it, even though I didn't tell him that's why I didn't want to go eat. He knew I was still bothered about it. So like, my attitude and like my energy shift about the address that I saw and all that really didn't like drastically change from the attitude I already had with the nigga, right? So we eat, and he doesn't suspect anything of my attitude or whatever. I end up going home, and then y'all, I didn't want to do this like after school or anything like that, because I was already scheduled to work some of these days, and I already had made plans with him for some of these days, and I didn't want him to know that I had knew anything. Like, I didn't want him to know that I was creating like a master plan, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to like cancel plans with him or just make anything weird, because I didn't want him to like suss out what I was doing. So basically what I did was I waited for Saturday, and I ended up telling him that I had a doctor's appointment, right? So he told me that he was still going to take his little sister. Like, I was like, take your little sister on Saturday. I'm not going to be at work because I have a doctor's appointment. So I called out, but I'll go and talk to my manager. I'll have him give y'all like a free jumping day, a free day, a jumping pass or whatever, and you and your sister can jump for free. I don't have to pay no entry fee or nothing like that. And yeah, like, I was trying to do my best to make sure that he still went, because I didn't want to have to worry about him at all that day. Like, I wanted to, you know, have my day to do my investigating shit, right? So he's like, all right, bet, like, I appreciate you. I'm gonna come by and see you. Like, I'm gonna come by and like meet up with you after your appointment whenever we get done jumping or whatever. So I'm like, cool. It's Saturday, y'all. It was raining, it was ugly, but I already took off. Like, maybe I should have checked the weather, I don't know, or maybe this was just like the universe trying to tell me like, girl, this is a bad idea. But the rain did not stop me, baby. The rain doesn't stop around here. So I put that address in from my notes in my GPS. I route my phone to that house, and I drive my little happy ass right on up to the house, right? Mind you, beautifully enough, like, thanks to DoorDash, it had directions to how to get to her apartment number. It had the apartment number, it had everything. Like, you know, it be having instructions like, leave it at the door, this is how you get to the door and everything. It was an apartment complex, right? So I pull up, I'm knocking at the door. not knocking on it like the feds. I'm not knocking on it hard. Mind y'all, I pulled up, I slathered my arms with Vaseline, my face with some Vaseline. I tied my hoodie. Like, I came looking like a burglar. Like, literally, I don't know who I thought I was. I don't know if I thought I was Catwoman. I don't know if the rain made me feel like a superhero or a supervillain or what the, but I was literally standing at some stranger's door, y'all. It could have been his auntie house. Like, I could have been off the mark completely. I could have been dead wrong. Like, I could have been delusional, standing at his auntie door looking like a burglar, or like a that came to run up. I might have not described it during this story time like I really liked him, but y'all, I was not playing about that man. I knock on the door and I hear like somebody like moving around in the apartment or whatever, and I hear somebody like approach the door, but they don't say nothing or they don't open it or nothing like that. So I get mad and I'm like, and I knock on it like the feds for real, and lo and behold, some answers the door.
Who are you?
I'm Pam. Who are you?
I'm the owner of this house.
Oh.
She opens the door, and you would think that a stranger seeing another stranger would be like, who are you? Like, how may I help you? Why are you knocking on my door like that? But she opens the door and she looks at me and she's like,
What's up?
what's up?
You tell me what's up.
So I'm like, I came here because I found your address in Trifling's phone, and I was just trying to come see whose address it is because that's my boyfriend, and I was just trying to see what's going on. Do you think you can kind of explain what's up with that or whatever? She kind of moves over, like exposing the apartment or whatever. I don't know if that was her way to invite me in or whatever, but I took it as an invitation and I stepped in her apartment, and she was like, I mean, it's raining, so I guess you can come in or whatever, but I don't know who you think you come in to check. And we started getting to a conversation, right? So she's just like,
yeah, I know who you are. You don't gotta tell me who you are. I already recognized you because you're the girl who always be posting him up, but he don't ever post you. So I really should be asking who you are to him, not the other way around, because the only time I see you and him together is on your story.
I'm already starting to like feel the hostility. Like, you could cut the tension in the room with a knife. Like, I literally was like,
I'm probably gonna be the ass in her house today.
like, y'all, 17-year-old me on top of that was way crazier than I am now. Like, way less decorum. Like, now I would not pull up to no stranger's house. I would not pull up to no girl's house and go in. I would probably not even step on a girl's yard.
That's a lie.
Y'all know that's a lie. But stepping in the house and all of that, not even knowing whose house it is,
It's crazy work.
after she says that, I'm just kind of like, well, it's crazy to know that a girl's posting him and claiming him as her boyfriend, and you still got something going on. So I need you to let me know what you got going on, because I still don't know. And she's just like,
Well, I don't really got nothing too much going on with him. Like, we see each other from time to time. Like, I mean, you already know he orders me stuff on DoorDash sometimes, and he be over here sometimes, but ain't nothing too deep or whatever. It's nothing that you need to be worried about.
and I'm like, what do you mean it's nothing that I need to be worried about? Like, he's literally my boyfriend. I just told you he's my boyfriend. Like, this isn't my homeboy. This isn't my friend. This isn't just like a sneaky link. This is like literally somebody that I'm dating right now. Like, what do you mean he be over here? What do you mean? She's just like,
Well, I don't know, like, if you wasn't too busy being stingy, he wouldn't have to come over here.
Don't ever think that, you know, you that girl, but don't ever think that you that good comeback, that good reading girl, but I that little saying, okay? Yeah. You're not that bitch, nothing, but you still ate that little one, that little one thing, you ate that one thing.
Huh?
I'm like, okay, so what it's giving is he thinks I'm playing games, so he starts playing games and trying to find him a little backup or some little easy shit because he can't get what he wants from me. Like, I seen this all before, baby. I'm like, so that's what you like to be to niggas, a nigga's second choice? And she gets mad as hell, y'all. Like, she steps like up to me, like she's like coming up on me or whatever. She's not like squaring up or nothing like that, but she like comes closer to me and she's like,
Who the you think you're disrespecting? You in my house? You can get your disrespectful little ass out my house.
or whatever. Little ass, got it. Little ass, that is like the words that she should have retracted and replaced with other words, because all the other words that she said, y'all, I really did not care, to be honest. But it was the you can get your disrespectful little ass out my house. So I'm like,
You wanna go outside? You wanna go outside? My ex don't got nothing to do with nothing. You wanna go outside? You wanna on my nigga? You a hoe? You out bad, hoe? You out bad?
Like, I'm just screaming and she's screaming and I'm like, go outside, let's go outside. And she's not moving, y'all. Like, I don't know if she was scared. I don't want to just assume she was scared. I don't know if it was because it was raining. I don't know if she genuinely thought I was too young to fight or whatever, even though I was 17 and she was 19-ish or around that age. Maybe she was older, I don't know. But I'm screaming, I'm like, let's go outside then, let's go outside. And all of a sudden, y'all, I hear these earthquake level footsteps like coming up towards us, and it's this man, and he's like,
What's going on? What's going on? I don't know who you are, but you need to get out of my house with all of that.
And then he starts yelling at her, and he's like,
why you always bringing drama in my house? Stop with all this drama. You need to take your ass on somewhere. If you can't stop with this drama in my house, you can go find somewhere else to live.
And now I'm looking like, what the hell is going on? And y'all, it starts clicking in my head that like, I'm really in a stranger's house right now. And I'm like, this could end really bad for me. Like, this could end really poorly for me. Like, beyond tussling this girl, because I know, you know, I'm not worried about that part. But it's like, I'm in somebody's house where they can me because I came up on some crazy rah-rah. Or this man could hurt me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I started, like, coming to my senses for, like, what the f am I doing? And I'm doing this behind a nigga that literally left me for dead in Atlantic Mall. Girl.
Stand up!
I just kind of like, I'm like, you're not talking about shit, no way. Like, you can have him. You can have him. So I walk out. I leave. I get in my car. I skirt off, y'all. I probably done almost skirted off the road in the damn rain. And I leave, and I'm crying, y'all. Like, I'm crying in the car. Like, I'm crying mad, though. Like, I'm not crying, like, sad tears. I mean, it was probably a mixture of that, too, because I'm like, damn, I got cheated on again. But, like, I'm mad as hell, right? So I get on my phone, and I notice some missed calls from Trifling from when I first pulled up at Shorty's house or whatever. And, like, he was calling me, he was texting me, and I didn't answer, right? So he calls me again, like, right now. He calls me while I'm driving, and I decline it, and I get a text from him that's like,
why you pull up to Shorty's house? I told your ass that you insecure. How did you even find her address? You crazy as... I don't want to deal with no crazy... I'm tired of you crazy. Just... I
don't give a damn!
And I'm like, excuse me? So this girl done called you and just told you I pulled up and you're getting onto me? You're not even trying to kick it on some like, I'm sorry, I fucked up. Like, you're mad at me for causing drama with her? I'm like, nigga, we done. Like, I call his ass and I'm like, I want you to get off my phone and leave me alone. You can go be happy with that. I don't want nothing to do with you. Like, we're done. So I break up with him and he's like, bet. Like, he texts me and he's like, I don't give a f, like, bet, go do you, I don't care. Next day he don't say nothing else to me. Like, he ends up not saying shit. So I go about my life. I'm hurt by it, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, you know, I'm not about to deal with no shit like that. Like, I'm out here getting cheated on. You should just go be with them older if that's what you want to do. So probably that Saturday or the next Saturday, maybe 2 weeks later, I don't know, one Saturday I'm working and I see Trifling come in. He don't come in with his sister, he come in with some random girl. Now I don't know if this was like a girl he was messing with or, you know, doing or nothing like that, or it could have just been his homegirl. I don't know, because he did have female friends that I'm sure he didn't do stuff with. I don't really know, but he came with her and the girl he brought was really obnoxious. She was being loud, she was breaking the rules that were literally displayed all over the park. And I think like he brought her on some like trying to make me jealous, but also like wanted her to act like to show her ass, because he wanted me to have to come and like redirect her or whatever, or like come around them to like tell her to not break the rules or whatever. But I don't know what he thought, because I'm not in the business for that. So I sent my coworker like to go tell her not to do whatever she was doing or whatever, and like I didn't say nothing to him, I didn't say nothing to her. He ended up like coming to the register when they were leaving. He was like,
you gonna give me and Shawty a discount, or is that just for me and my sister?
And he said that kind of in front of my manager, which we weren't supposed to give like a discount out to the same person more than one time. So like, I don't know if he was trying to get me in trouble with my manager, like saying that I'd be giving him discounts more than that one time that I told my manager to give him like my discount, because it comes from me. Like, it ends up coming out of my paycheck or whatever whenever they get to jump for free. But I'm only supposed to do that one time for one person unless they're in your family or whatever, and they knew that wasn't my family member. I don't know if he was trying to like make me mad because of the girl, or if he was trying to get me in trouble or what, but I ignored his ass. He ended up leaving, and that was that. There was one more time that he ended up coming up to my job after we broke up, and he ended up coming on a Saturday again with his sister this time. And this was the day that I was running a birthday party. I was already running the birthday party when they first came in, so I wasn't even the one to check them in. I wasn't the one dealing with him or his sister, or I wasn't even on the floor for real, unless I was like bringing the children to go do the dodgeball or whatever. And then like dodgeball is the only thing that we kind of directed, and the ninja, there was like a ninja warrior type of like course in the back or whatever, and I would like bring them over there for that. But other than that, and the birthday, like helping them at their table off the floor, I didn't have nothing to do on the floor with them. You know what I'm saying? Like they get to go jump freely amongst themselves, and then they will come back and meet up with me at a different time. So I wasn't really on the floor. Like I didn't really pay him no mind. I was like, you know, it's nice that he's still bringing his sister. I don't want his sister to suffer because of our situation, and I know she loved coming there, so I wasn't really tripping. I was just like, he better leave me alone. So he ends up coming up to me while I'm literally talking to my guests of my party, and he's like, can I talk to you? And I'm like, no, I'm working, like leave me alone. And he's like, I need to talk to you, bro, like just give me a second to talk. And I'm like, I'm not talking to your ass, leave me alone. You see me, like he's doing this in front of my guests, mind you. The guests are like looking, and he's talking to me like right next to them, and I'm like, bruh, like get away from me, I'm talking to my, like I'm doing my party or whatever. So I end up walking away from my party because I'm like, this is embarrassing. I'm not even trying to start arguing with this man in front of them. So I started walking away for a second, like towards the front of the store, and he's like, we had something good, like can't you just give me a chance? And I turn around and I'm like, leave me alone or leave. Like I don't want you, it's dead. Like I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm never giving you another chance. Like get out of my face. So his little sister starts saying like, please, can you just give my brother one more chance? Like he's been sad since y'all broke up. Like giving, like she was memorizing lines like he told her to say that to me.
Boy, if you don't get
Your sister, she's an innocent child. She don't got nothing to do with that. Why are you bringing in a child into our drama? Like how inappropriate can you really be? You already making a scene in front of my guests, and now you bringing your little sister to say to me? Like, are you dumb? So I end up ignoring both of them, to be honest, and I like keep walking towards the front, and he starts yelling. He's like,
I hate you, Sadiddy. You just are always thinking y'all too good for a nigga. Like a nigga can't even make a mistake out here. Like what the,
giving the same energy of like the memes that be like, or those quotes that be like, you cheat on a bitch and she break up with you after the first time you cheated, like strict Judge Judy ass bitch. Like of course I'm breaking up with you after you cheat on me. Of course I am. I should have broke up with you for much more before you even ended up doing that. If we being real, if we really want to wake that up, I should have been left your ass. But that was just the last straw. That was just the straw on the camel's back. He's screaming. I have a little walkie-talkie thing. I end up walkie-talkieing for security to come to the front because we had like a security dude. He was hella lazy. I mean, when he was needed, he was about that action. But like other than when he was needed, he would just sit in the back and eat snacks and be on his phone and stuff like that, instead of like just standing in the front and patrolling, which I felt like maybe if he was in the front just standing there even when he wasn't needed, that would probably deter people from causing issues because they know security's there. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, but I ended up walkie-talkieing security to come up to the front, and his little sister is crying her eyes out because her brother is screaming and acting belligerent because I won't take him back. And then security comes to the front, ends up escorting him outside of the premises or whatever. They end up like, he's not leaving, mind you, with his little sister crying in the front with the people telling them that he can't come back and all of this stuff. They end up having, I think, the police come to trespass him from the property, and now he can't come back. So I'm on the side with his little sister, and I'm like, I'm sorry, like, that this is happening. If you can get your mom to bring you next time, you can still come. Like, you are still welcome to come whenever you want. I'll even let you jump for free if you can have somebody else bring you, because your brother cannot bring you. Like, I'm so uncomfortable with this conversation I'm having with a child right now, because I shouldn't even have to explain to her that her brother cannot take her jumping anymore. But I also wanted her to like understand that she didn't do anything wrong and that she could still come back as long as it was with somebody else. I think that I saw her once with like her auntie for like a birthday party, maybe like a month later or whatever, but he couldn't come back or whatever. So after that situation, I ended up texting him and I was like, I really need you to not come back and not harass me. Don't pull up to my house or nothing like that. And he ended up, like, I ended up blocking him off of everything, blocking him off of Instagram and all of that. He didn't hit me up from no like text now or nothing like that, but what he did do for like the next 3 months, I want to say, after our initial breakup, is I would get these like spam messages on Instagram, like insulting me, insulting me. And the way that I knew that it was him is because it would be like, you stingy sadiddy bitch, or it would be like, you sadiddy bitch, always like thinking you too good for a nigga. Like the same thing he was saying to me when he was mad. He would say like, you posing, sticking out your butt, but you really stingy in real life. Like just trying to act like I'm like portraying myself to be something I'm not and all this stuff. And he kept doing that until I finally responded to his DM, and I was like, if you send me one more harassing message, I'm going to send my brother to your house. I didn't want to get my brother involved because y'all know from one of these story times, my brother is not the one to play with, and I really wasn't tripping on no messages because he didn't pull up to my house or nothing crazy like that, because obviously my brother would have been on that if he was on that crazy type of timing. But for it to be 3 months later and you still from time to time sending me these abrasive messages, I was like, yeah, keep sending me and I'm gonna send my brother to your house. And magically it stopped. I don't know, maybe he got the memo, y'all. Like, I don't think he wanted no static with my brother, like rightfully so, because where you think I get my fighting skills from, baby? No shade. That's all that happened. Long story short, don't ignore the red flags, which I already know, and also don't let nobody cross your boundaries, whether it's a friend, family, it does not matter. That's the end of this story time. If you guys enjoy, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Comment other videos that you guys want to see from me. Turn on the post notification bell so you never miss when I post a video. Follow me on all my social medias that are in the link tree in the description box below. Also, you guys, follow me on Instagram at ChesaLaMorena. You guys can be interactive with me. I repost y'all stuff on there sometimes. I answer y'all's DMs on there. And whenever there's a fight video I find or any type of receipts that I feel like I can't put on here, I end up posting them on my story on Instagram. And when I do subscriber story times and y'all include y'all's fights, I be putting them on my Instagram whenever that video is up or whatever. But it's not up there permanently, so y'all be having to catch it or whatever. But either way, y'all gonna love it over there on my Instagram. I'm gonna be posting pictures and being more active on there as far as my feed goes, and like taking pictures of myself and stuff like that. So you definitely want to go follow me over there. And for those of y'all who are asking me in my DMs where the fight videos, I told y'all it doesn't stay up permanently. And I told y'all if I find fight videos from me, I will post them. Apart from y'all's fights that I already be getting and putting them on there, if I find a fight from my, you know, situation, I'll put them on there too. So don't go to my Instagram thinking it's just gonna automatically be on there. I'm just telling you to go show love and follow me and to look out for those videos, basically. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Let me know what y'all would have done. I love when y'all tell me what y'all would have done and just how y'all would have reacted to certain scenarios. You can tell me how you would have reacted to the first, second, third, to the end. Y'all can let me know if y'all would have been just as the Lulu as me. Let me know what y'all would have done. I love you guys so much, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Bye.
ChesaTheBrat.